Hey everyone, welcome back to another video on the channel, and today's video I want to talk about the heal cap in Wizard 101. So we got some news about this on the recent KI Live. This happened about a week ago, I want to say now, so again, apologies for me being a little slow. I do have video ideas written down, I just simply cannot make the time to get around to do it. So yeah, I got some clips from the KI Live that I will be showing y'all on the video today. I just want to say though, before I play the clips y'all, it's probably not what you are going to want to hear. It is good that they are addressing the problem and recognize that it is a problem after so many years of course. But I'm just really worried that it's going to be an update for a sake of saying they can say they updated the game, you know what I mean? Because let's say they update it and put this heal cap into the game, but it doesn't change anything, people are still jading. It's like, okay, what are we doing? You know, like you never understood the problem in the first place, which is what a lot of devs get messed up, not just Wiz devs, by the way, but it's like they'll spend all this time will go by and they make an update that hardly does anything instead of actually addressing the root of the problem. You know what I mean? But anyways, I'm gonna shut up here and I will let the clips play.
All right, let's see. So Liam's first question, give everybody a guess what it is.
Storm?
No? No, he's talking about the disparity with the viability of dual schooling with high DPP schools, which is mathematically true. But I think some people have a concern that there's some other issue at play that so that continues to be debated as to what's happening there and what's the best way to resolve it.
So in the first bit here, we have Artie talking about the dual school problem. So that's related to, you know, Storm's inability to dual school in PvP. So again, it's good that they see the problem and it seems they agree on the problem, but they're trying to figure out the best way to implement it into the game, which is probably where they should be at, you know what I mean? Artie also did mention they were a little bit hesitant to rush this out and whatnot because the, you know, implications it's going to have on PvE and rating and whatnot. He didn't say that word for word, but that's basically what he meant, as in like me translating what Artie is saying, because the way he words things sometimes is very cryptic, you know, but basically if you do PvP, pretty much 90% of the people agree on the dual school problem, right? But the biggest pushback is actually from the PvE part of the community, which is like the raiders and whatnot, because they're concerned, because in their mind, right, they don't have to worry about stats or things being balanced like PvP. In their mind, they just run like Storm or off school Storm and don't care about stats because PvE, right? And to them, the game is fine that way, right? But if it's going to get buffed to be equal and fair in PvP, that would completely break it in raids, which is why the raiding PvE community is upset. And I honestly feel like that's a fair complaint. If anything, this just really shows that PvP and the PvE need to be separate. Ever since PvP and PvE have been put together, like how many years ago, there's an endless list of like bans that have completely broken strategies and raids.
He also asked about the heal cap. Ben, do you want to comment to that or keep it secret or what?
No, it's not secret. I mean, I've mentioned it in the PvP channel a few times. I don't want this to necessarily devolve into a PvP dominated discussion, but yeah, the heal cap is slated for the next update, which would be winter. But whether it makes it or not is always TBD. Right now we're assuming that it will. And if the healing cap comes in, then there may be some other downstream effects of that, such as removing the restriction on burst healing We figure that probably doesn't have to be there. Removing the restriction on number of copies of heal spells that you can have, that probably doesn't need to be there. Having heal spells remove themselves from your deck, we can take that away. That just makes an extra discard you have to worry about, I guess, if you're once you hit the heal cap. But one of the most interesting ones I thought was that I was talking to Adam / Roberto about this, and we put in a lot of rules and infractions in PvP that were really designed around stalling, or jading, as some folks call it, which includes lots of things. There's a lot of systems that are in PvP now that were really very specifically designed, not just implemented but to deal with stalling, but designed the way they are to deal with stalling. And I would say things like the chess clock, the way the chess clock handles draws, leaving matches, the idea of a time limit at all. Some of these things, I don't know that they'll necessarily change, but when the healing cap goes in, all of them, we should do what Artie says, knock over the Jenga tower, right? And then rebuild it. So what needs to be in PvP now that we have a healing cap and what doesn't? So I would expect us to see some of the changes. I don't know that those changes will also happen at the same time as the healing cap, but that would be the dream, is that we could reassess those things at the same time. So.
Okay, so now we are into the good stuff of the video. I just figured I'd throw in that extra bit of Dual School at the start, y'all, because I didn't really think I should make that into a whole separate video, so I hope you don't mind. But yes, so Ratbeard was talking about the heal cap and whatnot, and I am basically going to break it down for y'all. And if the devs are listening as well, watching this video, I will try to explain things to the best of my ability, so they can understand why this is going to be a terrible change. So I've compiled a list here on the side. So we have the heal cap coming in winter, which, I mean, okay, whatever. Again, it sucks we have to wait like literally months to get simple things like this in the game, but that's a whole other complaint. That's not this video. Next thing we have is they're bringing back burst heals, I guess, to like compensate for this somehow being a life wizard nerf or something. This is a really bad idea for multiple reasons. One, it makes jading easier to do. Two, the counters are already struggling on their last legs pretty much. If you factor in burst healing and heal over times, those are two separate things that you have to set for. And then next thing we have is they are removing copy limits on heals. So this is also a terrible idea. And this is going to go in with our next point actually, which I'll probably just bring up here because it'll make more sense. Basically between healing received and healing output, the cap basically is going to be your max HP. So essentially that means if you're a life, you could heal for 15k, effectively having 30,000 HP, which is insane. Keep in mind, this is a school with a stabilize up, gets 99% resist. But yeah, the devs have gone on record, I think in the Wizcord, and they said it is going to be healing received, not like healing output. So that leads me back into the point before, right? If they're going to remove the copy limits and it's only going to be healing received, that means the counters are not going to work. They already, again, have a hard enough time keeping up right now. Then you're going to buff healing with reintroducing burst healing in the game. So you need hot clears and then, doom or infection for the burst heals. And now even if you do quote unquote counter them, it doesn't matter. There's no copy limits anymore. If it's healing received, they can just keep healing forever and ever. And the whole counter argument to this as well, like the life wizards or whatever, people who are lower rank in general, they'll say, oh, well, the counters are so good, I lose to them all the time, right? Then you just haven't played a good Jade, or you're playing wrong. Because what happens is the Jades will be set for the counters. So for example, let's say you Triton, they'll have like a Deadly Depths or a Crow. Let's say you have Threefolds. Okay, well they have Ice King Art, they have Snowman, they have Purge. They just reshuffle them all because again, their whole deck is designed to stall and just heal forever. Right now, half of a Life Wizard's deck is just healing, And the other half, aside from maybe like 6 to 8 cards, is just all counters, like the counters to the heal counters. Oh, and I didn't even bring up the worst part yet, y'all. Get this. They are looking at removing the timer along with all these buffs to healing. They are going to remove the timer, right? Terrible. Terrible idea. Terrible. Life's win condition is already healing, and you're going to be promoting them to heal more with the buffs. And if the timer is gone, everyone knows if they just stall out the game, they can heal forever, and you can't do shit. The only way you can reliably beat a Jade right now or after this patch goes through is if you pack like fucking 12 heal counters and then like 2 or 3 reshuffles and be on a good school that's like not ice, for example, against life. No strategy should be that broken to the point where you need to set that hard just for one singular school. But yeah, unfortunately, the devs seem very adamant on this, that they are doing the right thing and whatnot, when, again, all that's really going to change with all of these things we talked about in the video today that we heard from the devs is it's going to make more people heal, more people jade. If they kept the timer in the game, people are still just going to get timered for jading anyways. And if they take the timer out of the game, then, well, the lives are just going to win if they're good, because their healing is their win condition. Now, let's stop talking about actual jading for a second and talk about regular life, right? So, regular life, basically, pretty much in any matchup, I would say, if you, again, assuming most optimal peak play, right? All you need is one good heal, and you can win the game on a life. Even a good life can easily play around a storm and a death. It's not easy, but you can do it. And the second you catch them slacking, or they mess up, or they, you know, underestimate something, one heal will immediately turn the game around, and they cannot recover from that. Or if you deck fill your heal counter once when they're spam healing, because a lot of lives will heal into the heal, right? If you deck fill the counter once, you're just cooked, because all it takes is one good heal. And if you're a player who plays like Ice or like a Life Mirror, for example, they don't even have to stop there. They could do 2 good heals, 3 good heals. Or like shit, I mean, half their deck right now is literally heals. They could do so many of them, and they only need 1 to win. Again, assuming everything is at a competitive level here. So the TLDR of everything that is happening here, essentially, is going to be regular life is going to be getting buffs in the context of people are going to have to set harder, because you'll have burst heals now, so they need 3-folds and clears. Regular life and jading lives are just going to be promoted to stall out the game, simply because, well, they want to remove the timer for some reason, and again, they want to take these copy limits away and all this crap, which is a terrible idea. So no matter how you look at it, it's just a buff to life. It's a buff to regular life. It's a buff to jading life. Now, obviously, if they go back on some of these things, like leave the timer in, don't bring back burst heals, like they are fixing a little bit of the problems, but it doesn't change the fact of the matter that you can still just jade. All you have to do is stall, heal a lot, especially, again, the main point here is it's healing received, right? So you could just theoretically heal forever when half your deck is already just heals and you're packing hella reshuffles and the counters don't keep up because you're playing around the counters as a good life wizard would, right? Playing optimally, it's not going to do shit. So how they can fix this is, again, by going back on the timer thing, the copy limit thing, or the burst heal thing. That's one. Or in my opinion, what they should do is they should make the heal cap lower. So like maybe like, I don't know, 75% of your max HP. Like even then you would have to do like what, 20,000? It'd be like 20, yeah, about like 20k damage. Or what they could do is have it being like net healing. So basically if they just, you know, rebirth over and over and over, but like you're actually countering the rebirth and whatnot, it's like your counters will have weight and they will work and there will be an end to the game. But if it's healing received, there will not be an end to the game, because the life will just counter your counter and keep healing because their healing actually didn't count. So yeah, I hope I explained that well. enough. Really disappointing to hear the past couple of days. I'm gonna be honest. A lot of people were happy about this heal cap, waiting for it for years, and it's pretty close to the worst case scenario by the sounds of things from the devs. So hopefully they listen to the feedback and you know, hopefully something's done. They just have till the went through update. They have a lot of time still, I guess. So yeah, I mean, let me know your thoughts and feedback in the comments, y'all. Hope to see you on the next one. Take care and goodbye.